The Art of Disciplined Poker Mastery. Part 2. Chapter 11. The Eternal Compass. Position as the foundational advantage position is not merely a seat at the table. It is the silent architect of every victory, the compass that orients your entire strategy before a single card is dealt. It whispers the truth that early seats demand monastic discipline, while late seats grant the freedom of a conqueror. Play tighter in early position, under the gun, hijack, because you will navigate the hand blind, reacting to every subsequent move with incomplete information. Widen dramatically in late position, the cutoff and button, where you become the last storyteller, the one who sees every check, every hesitation, every sizing tell before deciding your own narrative. This is the foundational thought process. Before you ever glance at your cards, ask yourself, where am I in the order of battle? Early position shrinks your range because out-of-position play multiplies risk. Post-flop, you will face aggression without the luxury of acting last. Late position expands it because information is power. You control pot size, you steal blinds with impunity, you isolate limpers, you apply pressure that others cannot. The edge compounds silently across thousands of hands. A marginal hand like 9-7 suited becomes a weapon on the button. The same hand in early position is poison. Play the table, not just the cards. Ranges, timing, bet sizing, and board texture are your true opponents. 3-bet pots and post-flop lines become stories you author with precision. Every bet a sentence, every check a pause that invites weakness. In tournaments, the story shifts with the stage and the stack. Early patience, middle selective aggression, late ICM survival, where a single chip lost near the bubble can cost you a pay jump worth more than any short-term gamble. The mental game binds it all. Math for the theory, pattern recognition for the instinct. Discipline, detachment, and rhythm turn poker from reaction into creation. This is the overview that governs every chapter that follows. Position is your throne. Claim it, and the table bends. Chapter 12. The Architect's Blueprint. Position and opening ranges. Opening ranges are sacred blueprints drawn anew with every seat change. They are not suggestions. They are laws enforced by the merciless logic of position. In early position, you become a fortress. Recommended range: aces to pocket 10, ace-king suited or offsuit, ace-queen suited, king-queen suited. Avoid ace-10 off, king-jack off. Marginal pairs below pocket 10. Why? You will act first on every street, facing potential 3-bets, multi-way pots, and boards that hit others harder. Typical open size, 2.5x big blind. Thought process before raising. If I open ace-10 off here and face a 3-bet, can I continue profitably out of position? No. Fold it pre-flop and preserve the stack for premium spots. Example from the trenches. You open ace-queen suited to 2.5x from UTG, cutoff calls, flop comes 10-7-2 rainbow, you check, your range is capped, villains is wide, turn brings an ace, you lead half pot, not for value, but to define the hand and charge draws, river brings a king, villain bets small, you check call, you win with top pair because you played tight, structured, and restrained, winning by doing less. This is the discipline of early position. Fewer hands, clearer lines, higher quality decisions. Middle position grants modest breathing room. Range expands to include pocket 9, 8, ace-jack suited, suited connectors 9-8 suited, and 10-9 suited. Still open 2.5x. Example, you raise pocket 9 from MP. Button floats with ace of spade, 10 of spade. Flop is dry. You continuation bet 1/3 pot. Turn brings a scary ace. You check. River is a blank. You check again. Villain bluffs. You call profitably. The thought process: my pair is vulnerable once the ace arrives. Checking the turn controls the pot and induces bluffs. Classic middle position restraint. Cutoff and button are your kingdoms. Range explodes. Suited aces down to ace-5 suited. Broadway hands king-queen suited. Queen-jack. Even selected 1-gappers 9-7 and 8-6 when blinds are passive. You steal blinds relentlessly, isolate limpers with creative sizes, and play a wide, fluid range that exploits last-to-act power. Thought process: I act last. Even 7-6 suited has implied odds and post-flop maneuverability here. Raise it. The core principle crystallizes. Position dictates everything. Do less in early seats, fold more, raise tighter, apply relentless pressure later, steal, isolate, control. The edge is not in the cards you are dealt, It is in the seat you occupy and the restraint you wield. Chapter 13. The Storyteller's Gambit. 3-bet pots and lines. A 3-bet is not a raise. It is a declaration of war that narrows the battlefield and seizes the initiative. It tells the table, this pot is mine to shape. Pre-flop ranges tighten dramatically in 3-bet pots. From early position, pocket queen plus, ace-king, sometimes ace-queen suited. From late position, you add suited broadways and light 3-bet bluffs. King-9 suited, ace-5 suited, because position allows creativity. Continuation bet strategy becomes surgical. On dry boards, you bet small, roughly 1/3 pot, to apply pressure while keeping the pot manageable. On connected or scary boards, you check to control size, induce bluffs, or mix your range. 4-bet responses demand razor focus. Pocket jack and ace-queen sit on the borderline. Thought process. Given villains' 4-bet range and the story they have told, do I have fold equity, implied odds, or is this a clear fold? Sometimes you call, sometimes you shove. Never guess. Turn and river decisions carry the heaviest weight. Bet bigger on turns that strengthen your range. Ace or king arrives. Check or fold when draws complete. The river finalizes your story. Value bet thin. Bluff when blockers and range advantage align. Every line is a narrative you control. The thought process before every action. What story have I told so far? Does this bet continue it believably? Does it force the opponent into a mistake? Master 3-bet pots, and you stop reacting to hands. You author them. Chapter 14. The Painter's Palette, Board Texture and Bet Sizing. Board texture is the canvas on which your strategy is painted, dry or wet. It dictates color, size, and aggression. Dry boards, King 7 Deuce Rainbow, contain few draws and low danger. Your continuation bets can be tiny, 1/3 pot or less, efficiently charging weak hands while protecting your range. Thought process. Few draws, few combinations that beat me. Small bet extracts value and denies equity without bloating the pot. Coordinated wet boards, 10, 9, 8 two-tone, team with draws and fit opponents wide ranges. Here, you either bet large or check. Small bets invite raises and turn your hand into a guessing game. Large bets apply maximum pressure, checks disguise strength or control variance. Monotone boards further limit bluff options. Your range must be nut heavy or you simply check. The thought process is visual and mathematical. How many draws exist? How many combinations in villains' range connect? Does my bet size force them into a mistake given the texture? Dry boards reward patience and small sizing. Wet boards reward boldness or restraint. Master texture and sizing. And every board becomes a painting you finish on your terms. Chapter 15. The Survivor's Odyssey. Tournament Stages and ICM. Tournaments are not cash games with escalating blinds. They are living organisms whose rules change with every eliminated player. Strategy must evolve or perish. Early stage, deep stacks, small blinds. Patience is your edge. Avoid coin flips. Play strong value hands and speculative suited connectors only when implied odds are massive. Gather table information. Fold frequently. Thought process. Chips are plentiful. Survival and information matter more than any single pot. Middle stage, blinds and antes rising, stacks shallower. Selective aggression becomes king. Target weak limps and passive players. Open light from cutoff and button. Jam suited aces over small opens. Monitor ICM. Pay jumps now matter. Many players bust here from lost discipline. You survive by maintaining pressure without recklessness. Final table and bubble, ICM pressure. Chips are no longer linear. A chip gained is worth less than a chip lost. Aggression turns selective. Patience becomes power. Fold strong hands near pay jumps when survival ladders you up the payout structure. Thought process. Does this risk jeopardize my ladder equity? Fold and let others gamble. Adjust by stage, early, gather intelligence, middle, apply selective pressure, final table, target and survive. Prioritize survival and ladder value over short-term chip accumulation. This is the Odyssey. Adapt or be eliminated. Chapter 16. The Stoic Symphony. Mental game, image, and rhythm. The mental game is the hidden conductor that makes every technical skill sing. Maintain calm through controlled breathing. Avoid tilt by prioritizing process over results. Fold or sit out the moment emotion rises. Bluffing is art plus math. Use blockers to reduce opponent combinations, construct believable lines, balance bluffs versus value perfectly. Strategy flexes with stack depth, 100 big blinds, deep lines, creative play. 20 big blinds, tighten to shove, fold, maximize fold equity. Hand reading is street-by-street range narrowing. Pre-flop narrows possibilities, timing and sizing become evidence. You count combinations rather than exact hands. Your own actions sculpt table image. Use it. Off-table discipline determines longevity. Strict bankroll rules. Cash games 5% per buy-in. Tournaments 100+ buy-ins. Soft game selection. Stage-by-stage adjustment. Rapid emotional recovery. The thought process after every session. Did I play my ranges? Did I maintain detachment? What one adjustment raises my edge tomorrow? When rhythm flows, calm breathing, clear ranges, position honored, texture read, ICM respected, the game slows, decisions crystallize, and the table becomes your instrument. You no longer play poker, you conduct it. This is the masterpiece. Discipline turned into symphony, position turned into destiny. Chapter 17, The Visionary's Gaze, Mastering Board Textures. Through ghost card imagination and backdoor prophecy, board texture is never static. It is a living, breathing landscape that evolves with every card yet to come. The true visionary does not merely read the flop in the present moment. They project forward, peering through the veil of unseen turn and river cards like a cartographer sketching phantom continents. This is the art of imagining ghost cards, invisible futures that exist only in your mind's eye until they materialize. Elite players fold or call not on what the board is, but on what it can become. They calculate backdoor equity before the turn even arrives, turning apparent nothing hands into hidden weapons of leverage and deception. This chapter is the culmination of everything that came before. Position has granted you the seat. Ranges have been narrowed. 3-bet pots have been entered with discipline. Now, on the flop, the real mastery begins. The ability to foresee the board's destiny. Dry boards can explode into wet nightmares. Wet boards can brick into value town paradises. The difference between a mediocre player and a maestro is this forward vision, the disciplined habit of running mental simulations of every plausible turn and river while the action is still unfolding. Let us enter the example that crystallizes the lesson. You are under the gun with Jack-10 suited diamonds. The button 3 bets. You call. A disciplined light call from early position because your suited connector has position-adjusted playability and backdoor potential. Villain holds pocket aces, classic value 3-bet. The flop arrives. 3 of spade, 5 of heart, 9 of diamond, 1 diamond, the 9 of diamonds. You have flopped absolutely nothing. No pair, no gut shot, no flush draw yet. The board is dry, low, and seemingly harmless. Most regular players check fold instantly here. Their thought process is linear and shallow. I missed. He has overpair. Fold and move on. But you are not most players. You activate the visionary gaze. You check. Button bets. Standard continuation bet with aces. Now, instead of reacting to the present, you pause and begin the ghost card simulation in real time. First, you see the backdoor flush draw. You hold 2 diamonds. The 9 of diamond is already on board. You need exactly 2 more diamonds on turn and river. The probability is roughly 4.2%, about 23 to 1, but it is not the raw odds that matter. It is the leverage those diamonds create. If the turn brings any diamond, there are 10 left in the deck. You suddenly have a real flush draw with 9 outs, plus your straight potential. This transforms a worthless hand into a semi-bluff monster. Next, you scan for backdoor straight possibilities. Your true hidden power. Your Jack of Diamond 10 of Diamond is a connector. Ghost cards that complete open-enders or gut shots begin flooding your mind. Turn 7. Any suit. Now you have a gut shot. 8 for the straight, plus the backdoor flush. Turn 8 of clubs. Open-ender. 6, or queen, or 7, or 9, but 9 is on board. Turn queen of heart. Gut shot to the highway straight. King needed, plus backdoor flush. Turn 4 of diamond. Now you have a double gut shot 2 or 6 plus the flush draw. Turn 6 of diamond, open ender plus backdoor flush. You are not hoping blindly. You are calculating combinatorics in your head while the dealer is still burning the turn card. Out of the 47 unknown cards, how many give me immediate equity or backdoor equity worth calling one street? The answer surprises most mortals. Roughly 18 to 20 cards, any diamond plus the straight cards above, give you a playable hand on the turn. That is nearly 43% of the deck that turns your heir into something villain must respect. Your implied odds skyrocket because aces will pay you off heavily when you hit. The backdoor lesson is profound. and must be internalized as gospel. Backdoor draws are silent assassins. They cost you nothing to pursue on the flop, yet explode on the turn into full draws that fold out better hands or extract massive value. A backdoor flush draw alone is worth approximately 4 to 6% equity when played correctly. Combined with backdoor straight draws, as in Jack 10 suited, the equity balloons. You are not calling with nothing. You are calling with a disguised range advantage that villain cannot see. Most regulars miss this because their vision stops at the flop. You see 3 streets ahead. Now, the turn arrives in your imagination before it arrives on the felt. You have already decided you will check call the flop bet because your ghost card equity plus position justifies it. If the turn bricks, say, ace deuce of clubs, you check again and fold to a second barrel, discipline preserved. But if any of your ghost cards appear, 7, 8, queen, diamond, you suddenly become the aggressor. You check raise or lead the turn with your new draw, representing sets or 2 pair that aces cannot comfortably call. Villain, holding the invincible overpair, is now the one facing a decision. This is the power of ghost card imagination. It turns passive defense into proactive storytelling. On dry boards like 3, 5, 9, regulars see safety. You see a canvas waiting for diamonds, 7s, 8s, and queens to paint your victory. On wet boards, imagine the same flop but 3 of diamonds, 5 of diamonds, 9 of spades. The visualization flips. Now you must check fold more often because villain's range connects harder, but your backdoor equity still whispers, call one street in select spots. The mental routine is non-negotiable and must become automatic. 1. Identify current texture. Dry, wet, monotone. 2. List every ghost card that improves you. Backdoor flush, plus backdoor straight, gut shot. 3. Calculate approximate equity shift. If 40% of turns give me a real draw, this check call has plus EV. 4. Visualize villain's reaction to those turns. Aces will check back or bet small on bricks, but fold to aggression on my hits. 5. Commit only if the combined backdoor plus position plus pot odds justify it. Master this, and board textures cease to be mysteries. They become prophecies you author. The 3-5-9 rainbow flop that looked dead to the world is now your secret laboratory where backdoor miracles are engineered in silence. You no longer react to the cards that are dealt. You anticipate the cards that will be dealt. This visionary gaze is the final layer that separates the good from the immortal. Position gave you the seat. Ranges gave you the range. Ghost cards give you the future. When you master imagining every possible turn and river before they arrive, when backdoor draws become as real to you as made hands, you have achieved the highest form of poker consciousness. The board is no longer the opponent. The board is your canvas, and the ghost cards are the paint only you can see. The table will never know how far ahead you truly are until it is too late. Chapter 18. The Eternal Balance. GTO versus Exploitative Poker, the Modern Hybrid Mastery. In the evolving landscape of poker circa 2026, the old debate, GTO or exploitative, has dissolved into irrelevance. Pure GTO is unachievable for mortals and often suboptimal against real humans. Pure exploitation without a GTO baseline leaves you vulnerable to counter-exploitation. The elite players today wield a hybrid philosophy. GTO as the unbreakable foundation and reference point, exploitative deviations as the sharpened blade that carves profit from opponents' leaks. GTO, Game Theory Optimal, is mathematical equilibrium, a balanced strategy where your ranges mix value, bluffs, and semi-bluffs at frequencies that render you unexploitable in theory. Solvers like GTO Wizard show us that on many spots, the optimal line is to bet 37% pot with certain hands, check others, or mix check-raise bluffs at 22% frequency. It protects you from perfect opponents and teaches range construction, bet sizing logic, and indifference points. Exploitative play flips the script. Identify what your actual opponent does wrong, and punish it mercilessly. If villain overfolds to C-bets, checks back too much on turns, you barrel wider and larger. If they call too wide on rivers, you value bet thinner. If they never bluff raise, you fold more medium strength to aggression. The hybrid thought process is layered and dynamic. 1. Start with GTO baseline. Know what the solver recommends in this exact spot. Stack depth, position, board texture, prior action. This is your neutral range and sizing. 2. Profile the opponent. Use HUD stats, timing tells, physical reads, live, or population tendencies, online. Key leaks, fold to C-bet percent, too high-low, WTSD, went to showdown, too high-low, aggression factor skewed. 3. Quantify the deviation. Ask, how far from GTO is villain here? If they fold 70% to flop c-bets, GTO might expect 35-60%, overbluff them. If they defend BB versus BTN open at 80%, GTO 50-60%, tighten your opens and punish their wide calls. 4. Deviate rationally. Node locking in solvers shows exactly how to adjust. Plug in villain's tendencies and see the new frequencies. In practice, bet bigger versus calling stations, check more versus nits, mix polarized versus merged ranges. 5. Protect yourself. Never deviate so extremely that an observant opponent exploits you back. Balance your exploits. Overbluff sometimes, but keep enough value to prevent counter adjustments. Example scenario. Flop is king's spades, 7 diamonds, 2 clubs rainbow. You c-bet from BTN versus BB defend. GTO might c-bet 65% range at 33% pot. Villain folds to c-bet 78%, huge leak. Hybrid adjustment, increase c-bet frequency to 80-85%, size up to 50-60% pot with bluffs, and value bet thinner, e.g. KX becomes a bigger bet. You exploit without becoming predictable. This hybrid is the 2026 standard because solvers are ubiquitous. Everyone knows roughly GTO. Population data from trackers reveals common leaks, overfolding rivers, auto-calling turns. AI tools and real-time solvers allow instant profiling and adjustment. Mastery mantra: use GTO to understand what is balanced, then exploit deviations while staying one step ahead of counter-exploitation. The player who rigidly clings to solver outputs loses to the adapter. The reckless exploiter without baseline gets crushed by balanced regs. The hybrid wins. Chapter 19. The River's Final Verdict. Advanced River Strategy. Block bets, overbets, and thin value mastery. The river is where fortunes are sealed and mistakes are magnified. On earlier streets you can float, semi-bluff, or control pot size. On the river, decisions are binary and irreversible. Advanced river play revolves around 3 pillars: extracting maximum thin value, maximizing fold equity with bluffs, and using sizing to polarize or merge ranges. Key concepts: thin value betting. Bet medium strength for value against calling stations. Example: you hold top pair weak kicker on a paired board. GTO might check often, but versus a villain who WTSD 45% plus and calls river 60% plus, bet 40-60% pot. They call with worse pairs, draws that bricked, and stubborn ace high. Block betting. Small bets, 10-25% pot, with medium strength to block villain from bluffing or to get called by worse. Common when you have showdown value, but fear check. Thought process. If I check, villain might bluff 30% of range. If I block bet small, I get value from their medium pairs and deny them bluff equity. Overbetting. Bet 100-200% plus pot to polarize. Use with nuts or air. Nuts. Extract max from villain's medium strength. Bluffs. Represent nuts when villain caps their range, e.g. missed draws. Example. Board runs out with 4 to a flush. You overbet river with the nut flush blocker. Holding the blocking card reduces villain combos of the flush. River check calling versus check folding, versus aggressive villains who river barrel wide, widen your calling range, versus nits who only bet value, tighten to nuts or near nuts. Thought process checklist before river action. 1. Reconstruct ranges street by street. What does villain have now? 2. What is my perceived range? Did my line look strong? Weak? 3. Pot odds versus villain calling, folding frequencies. 4. Does this sizing exploit their tendencies? Call too wide? Bet bigger? Fold too much? Bluff more? 5. Am I balanced enough not to be exploited back? River mastery turns good players into crushers. You no longer hope villain folds or calls. You force the outcome through precise sizing and polarized storytelling. Chapter 20. The Invisible Edge. Table image, metagame, and leveling wars. Poker is not played in a vacuum. It is a psychological war of perceptions. Table image, how opponents perceive your style, becomes a weapon once mastered. Image creation, early in a session or table, play ABC, tight aggressive, to build a solid image. Then deviate, 3-bet light, float more, show bluffs selectively to create loose aggressive fear. Metagame exploitation, if table sees you as nit, they 3-bet wider, punish with wider 4-bet call ranges. If they see you as maniac, they call wider, value bet, thinner. Leveling wars. Level 1, play your hand. Level 2, think what opponent thinks you have. Level 3, think what opponent thinks you think they have. Elite play reaches level 4+. Anticipate counter adjustments. Example, you know villain thinks you're bluffing river. They call light. You value bet heavier. Thought process. What story have I told so far? How does villain interpret my range? How can I exploit their interpretation of my interpretation? Combined with HUD population stats for precision. The player who controls the narrative controls the chips.